All right, we're back with tutorial H, and lucky for us, it is something that we've done already. It's the same as letter D. So nothing new here. Let's just go through it slowly together, maybe this time picking up just a couple details that we didn't have time for last time. So here we are, H. Oh, yeah, as soon as I say that, I see a difference. There's just a little rhythmic difference that I added to make it more interesting. Instead of as it was in D and H, we're actually going. So it's just a little extra thing, not real hard. If you don't like it, you can always just play it the way it is at D. Always, for my playing, I'm just always looking for little things that can make it more interesting. So here we are at H. Now, you'll notice I sometimes hit other strings, right? Sometimes it's really important not to hit other strings because you want it super clean, or the strings that you're hitting are not in the key. And in this case, it sounded pretty good. So we have a lot of A's. I think it adds a little. So if you accidentally hit that, don't worry. Notice I use chin pressure on the violin anytime I have a big shift like that. And there's an obvious reason, and that's so you don't drop your violin. Now, conversely, I don't really use a whole lot of chin pressure when I'm just playing. Okay? So, and that's really important because if you're sitting there clamping your neck down the whole time when you play, what you're going to end up with is like a stiff neck every day after you practice. So, for the most part, we use the weight of our head to hold the violin when we, just kind of for everyday stuff, just let it kind of hang there. Sometimes you might want to lift it up just for, a little breather. But then for big shifts, definitely you're going to add the weight of your head for these grabs. And since there's so many grabs, I guess it's kind of important in this piece. So, from letter H. Look at that. Holding it with my chin, and so my hand is free. Now, you're not really going to do that, but that was just, to illustrate the point. All violinists look like they have double chins, right, too, because they get that skin on there, and it's like, they're really pushing hard. So, let's see. One thing I was thinking about that when I was playing this is how exact do we make this? Now, if you really spend some time on this, you'll be able to get every fifth, every fourth, every third, every sixth, every octave perfectly in tune. And that is an absolutely great thing to do for your playing. It's a great thing to do in your practicing especially. But don't forget when you actually go to the performance side of things that you really have to let things kind of fly. I think, in my opinion, there's nothing worse than a boring, stiff, technical performance. And there's no shortage of them out there either. So I played for a lot of years in a professional orchestra, and that's what you had to do to get into an orchestra. You had to play perfectly. And I can tell you that it's a recipe for just boring playing. So practice really carefully, practice really hard, but spend your time when you're practicing, you're performing on energy and line and moving from one place to another place and making sure that your audience is with you or will be with you when you play it live. So having said that, there's a lot of room to kind of hack through some of this stuff, and I'll admit to doing it, certain notes it's nice to land, like on that last note, it's nice to go and play that pretty well in tune. So maybe there are certain notes that you want to really go for, or really be careful on in your practice time. You wouldn't want to. That'd suck, right? Stink. Excuse me. All right, that basically takes us through H. Like I said, we've already done that one, so that should be nothing new for you. And we are about to head to tutorial I. I'll see you there.